Okay, let's dive straight into, well, a really baffling one today.
Oh, yeah. Which one are we tackling?
The disappearance of Jonathan Whitmore. Halebridge, England, back in November 2004.
Ah, right. The locked room case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one definitely sticks with you. It's just
It's
scellular.
completely strange. So, Jonathan, he was, what, 42? A mathematics professor?
Uh-huh. Described as quiet, very intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
disciplined, lost in his numbers.
Exactly. Not the type you'd picture just vanishing into thin air.
And the setup that night seemed so normal, didn't it?
Totally. He goes into his study to work, locks the door behind him,
Right.
even tells his wife, "Don't disturb me." It's a regular work evening, or so it seemed.
Until the next morning.
Yeah, that's when it all unravels.
Yeah.
His wife, she gets worried, knocks on the study door, no answer.
And the door is still locked?
Still locked,
Hmm.
bolted from the inside. So she gets alarmed, obviously, calls the police.
Makes sense. And
They end up having to break the door down, and when they finally get it open, the room is empty.
Yeah. Empty. That's the core of it, isn't it? The impossibility right there.
It really is, because look, no signs of forced entry anywhere else. It's a third-floor study, and the window, also locked, again, from the inside.
So no climbing out the window and locking it behind him.
Yeah.
Not easily, anyway.
And this is the kicker, the key for the study door lock. It was still in the lock, on the inside.
Okay, wait. So the door is bolted, and the key is physically in the lock on his side.
That's what the reports say.
So how does anyone leave? You start running through scenarios,
Yeah.
and they just hit that wall.
Exactly. And it gets, well, even more puzzling. His personal stuff was all there.
Like what?
His wallet, his glasses, his phone, even his slippers were apparently by the desk.
Slippers. Okay, that really paints a picture.
Doesn't it? And there was a half-full cup of coffee, cold by then, sitting on the desk
Yeah?
next to a notebook. And the notebook was filled with these. Well, police describe them as strange equations, more complex than his usual university work, apparently.
Strange equations. So it feels like he was right in the middle of something, doesn't it? Not like he packed up and left.
Precisely, which made the initial investigation incredibly difficult. They found, well, nothing.
No clues. No footprints outside the window. No mystery DNA.
Zip. Nada. Nothing to suggest anyone else was in there. Nothing to suggest how he got out.
So those first thoughts people might have, maybe a sudden mental breakdown, or perhaps he secretly planned to disappear.
They just crash against the fact of that locked room, right? How do you physically exit a sealed space like that?
It defies logic.
Then, just when you think it couldn't get weirder, 3 months later, February 2005.
Ah, the letter.
The letter. Jonathan's wife finds it in their mailbox. Plain envelope, no return address, no stamp even, just there.
Which is odd in itself. How did it get there without postage?
Another mystery. But the contents, that's the real twist.
What did it say?
Super brief. Just, don't look for me. Some equations should never be solved. Jonathan.
Some equations should never be solved. And they confirmed it was his handwriting.
Yep.
Verified. Definitely his writing.
So it seems like it was him communicating after disappearing from that impossible room.
Which just throws up even more questions, doesn't it? Where was he for those 3 months? Why the cryptic message? What equations?
And fundamentally, we're still back at square one. How on earth did he get out of that locked study? The note doesn't explain the how.
Not at all. It adds this layer, this hint that maybe his mathematical work, those strange equations were somehow involved, but it doesn't solve the physical puzzle.
No, it deepens the mystery, really. Ties his work to his vanishing act.
And that's where it stands. To this day, the case is open. Nobody ever found.
No credible sightings. No more letters.
Nothing. Complete silence since that one note. Just gone. A man vanishes from inside a locked room, leaves a cryptic clue about math, and is never seen again.
It's a genuine locked room puzzle brought into the real world with that unsettling mathematical twist.
So, wrapping this deep dive up, considering everything, the sealed room, the professor, the note, what do you think happened to Jonathan Whitmore?
It's one of those cases that pushes the boundaries, isn't it? Maybe. Maybe some problems, like maybe some equations, don't have solutions within our known reality. Perhaps they lead somewhere. Entirely. Unsolvable, maybe, in our terms.